Alright. This is where I'm going to toss down the stream marker. I'm going to give my vague little intro, kind of like last time. So, this is my New Game Plus replay. We did this, started about 2 years ago. Took us a long time to finish. And by the time we did finish, a lot of the early game was changed. And also in that playthrough, I would talk outside of cutscenes, a lot of clutter, chat with chat, so to say. I am going to not be doing that this time around. I will be narrating all of the voice cutscenes and otherwise typing into chat just to kind of keep it to the point for the VOD. Speaking of, I forgot there was one last thing that I need to do. I need to disable the audio alerts from the channel point rewards. I could just turn off my desktop sound, but I don't want you guys to be spending points that will not actually pop up on stream. That would be mean. So we will disable all these guys until we are not doing something that I want to be more immersive in the zone and such. Same for sub alerts and all other notifications. I'm going to have those not on stream. My apologies if that makes people sad. I'll get rid of some of the extra clutter on screen. I'll leave chat. I don't remember last time. Well, this time, just why not? Yes, last time we finished Reborn Part 1. This is ARR Part 2. In the midst of touring the 3 city-states and witnessing the myriad problems besetting the realm, the adventurer has a chance encounter with a member of the enigmatic Scions of the Seventh Dawn. Invitation to their base of operations, the Waking Sands, promises to shed light upon the mystery of the Echo and more. So I will be going radio silent. We'll probably not finish this part today. It's the last time took us about 5 hours, and I don't know if I want to be up that late tonight. And by that I mean I can't be up that late tonight since it's work day. So we will see how far we get. And I hope you guys enjoy. I'm gonna turn up the game volume once I go mute, so please careful with your volume levels, etc., etc. Thank you for taking the time to help me out. Now, I'm sure you're busy, so I'll come straight to the point. Word has it, some suspicious-looking buggers have been sneaking in and out of the Sastasha Sea Grot. And I need the trustworthy sort to head up north of Ailport and find out who they are and what they're up to. Don't sound like much, I know. It weren't so long ago as the Fishbacks, pet pirates, paid us an unwelcome visit. Folk are feeling a bit nervous. If you permit me, Mr. Batteron, I should be happy to elaborate. Well, if it ain't the Chief Yellow Jacket himself. What do I owe this rare honor, Commodore Raynor? Come to make sure we patrons are behaving, or just thirsty? Neither. In fact, I was informed that you had requested an adventurer to assist in my investigation, and I came to offer what information I could sift from recent reports. Over the course of the past moon, there have been several sightings of an unfamiliar vessel off the coast of Ailport, in the vicinity of the Isles of Umbra. This information came to my attention no more than a few weeks after a squad of my own soldiers had completed a routine patrol of the region, Sastasha Sea Grot included. Their search revealed little, save that a family of quarrels had taken up residence in the cave. Nothing to concern us, in short. In light of recent developments, however, it seemed wise to search Sastasha again. With the Sahagin testing our defenses daily, I'm loath to assign the task to the limited forces at my disposal. Our line is stretched as is. Thus, I sought the services of a competent adventurer to conduct an investigation in our stead. Any aid you can offer in this matter would be greatly appreciated. That is settled. Sastasha is located in western Lenosha. For more detailed instructions on how to reach the place, I suggest you consult Wimilpa, who we found at the ferry docks on the lower decks. You heard the man? Good luck to you, lass. Hear about Commodore Rayner's investigation? You'll want to board a ferry bound for Airport. Once you arrive in western Lenosha, though, you'd best pay a visit to the Hall of the Novice before you blunder into Sastasha. The Adventurers Guild hall runs the hall. The folk there will prepare you, train you with the skills you'll need to face the dangers undoubtedly waiting for you in the Sea Grot. The hall is on the way to Sastasha, just north of Airport. Head inside, and one of their seasoned adventurers will take you in hand. Best of luck to you, friend. This ferry's bound for Airport. You riding with us? Ah, you must be the adventurer of whom the Yellow Jackets sent word. I hear you're brave enough to go into the depths of the Sastasha Sea Grot. The occupants of those caves are rumored to be as numerous as they are bloodthirsty. No matter what the epic tales would have you believe, strolling to such a den of savagery alone would be the height of foolishness. No, you shall need companions. You shall need the training we here at the Hall of the Novice can provide. I strongly suggest that you study the fundamentals of group combat before continuing your mission. The smith here oversees the training schedules. Speak with him, and you can register for exercises tailored to your particular field of expertise. When you've mastered all that our masters have to teach, then it will be time to head north once more. Report to the Yellow Jacket scout at the mouth of the Sastasha Sea Grot, and he will furnish you with the details of your duty. Please tell me you're here on Yellow Jacket duty, and not some daft sod out for a stroll. Can't take any more of this blasted waiting. You are? Oh, thank the gods. I assume you already know about the ship seen slipping around the Isles of Umbra? I've been on the lookout for pirate activity ever since the vessel was sighted. Thinking a crew of cutthroats might have a den nearby. When we received word that men of questionable quality had been seen passing in and out of the Sastasha here, we weren't entirely surprised. I get to see them for myself, but if this lot belongs to those fishback fancy serpent breeders, well, you can imagine the panic it'll cause. Kidnappings are still fresh in people's minds. Anyway, your task is to poke around in the caves and find out exactly who we're dealing with. While you do that, I'll be keeping a watch out here, praying you don't spot any blue-faced tattoos. find a blood-stained scrap of parchment. A message scrawled upon it in faded ink. The captain likes his cabbage green. How'd you find this place?
more, eh?
Captain is strong. Captain is strong. Batten down the hatches. Batten down the hatches.
escape next time. Suddenly our spawning ground, Shorewalker! Finless fools! The Lord of the World shall sup upon your souls! The leader was a Sahagin? Aye, such a tax was on the books. Was, mind. Afraid that ship is already sailed, friend.
Ah, might you be the adventurer who accepted the job of investigating Sastasha? It would seem that ship has not only sailed, but now returns to harbor, none the worse for its voyage. A pity, we dragged our boots too long on this one. No matter, the wheel will turn and our chance will come. You're right, of course, but there shall be no rest till we have attained our goal, lofty though it may be.
Not a wink of sleep, great leader.
Our aim, lest you wonder, is to perform such feats of heroism as will earn us a place in songs of every alehouse of Eorzea. We mean to write a legend which will inspire adventurers as yet unborn to follow our shining example. You have such a goal? Large or small, it matters not. Only have a star to reach for, and you will reach higher. Purpose can sustain you through times of hardship. Keep your eye on the prize, and all obstacles will be overcome in time. You'd not think to stride into battle unclad, would you? Well, goals are as arms and armor for the spirit. I wish you fortune in your endeavors, milady.
Back then, are you? With all your limbs and a tale to tell, I'll wager. Fishbacks. Now I was thinking you'd only have to crack a pirate skull or 3. 7 hells. You turn your back for 5 bloody minutes, and the scaly bastards have set up shop in your bleeding doorstep. Still, sounds like you left them in pieces, so don't suppose they'll be carrying out whatever mischief they were planning. Unless they was planning on feeding themselves to the fauna of Sastasha, of course. Any road, all's well that ends well. On behalf of Limsa, I thank you for shedding some light on this mystery. You've lived up to your reputation, and I couldn't ask for no more than that. Now, I bet you're dying for a rest, but just in case you're not, I was wondering if you might be interested in taking on another job. Just so happens that I've had a request from our sister guild in Gridania, see? It seems the forest folk are in need of a venturer who can get things done. For them to ask for help like this, you can bet the task won't be no skip through a sunny glade, but after the way you dealt with our fishback infestation, I doubt it's anything you can't handle. Give us a shout when you're ready, and I'll lay it out for you. Ready to hear about that job, then? Like I said, the request comes from our sister guild in Gridania, and that's all I know. But whatever it is you get asked to do, I somehow doubt it'd pose any trouble for adventurers survived in the bedlam of Sastasha. If you think you might be interested, you're allowed to have words with Mother Mion, my counterpart in Gridania. Good luck, lass.
Take a seat wherever you like, friend. Our waitress will come in to take your... Oh, not here to dine. Dare I hope that you're the adventurer Bateron sent word about? Oh, you are. The matron be praised. Allow me to introduce myself. My name is Mion, and the Carline Canopy is my place. With regard to the task in question, there is a fair bit to tell. Let me know when you're ready to hear the details, and I shall brief you. Ready for that briefing? Good. Now then, here's the long and short of it.
Beg pardons for interrupting, Mion, but our need grows ever more pressing. None step forward.
Good evening to you too, Bow Lord. Your need must be pressing indeed. For your honor. Yeah. Your need must be pressing indeed for you to honor us with a visit. The good news is your journey hasn't been wasted. I'm pleased to report that we have a volunteer at last, and one who comes highly recommended at that.
Thanks for answering the call, my friend. My name is Lewin, and I lead the men and women of the God's Quiver. Now,
Time is of the essence, so I shall proceed directly to the heart of the matter. We wish for you to nip a potential threat to Gridania in the bud. Beneath the central shroud, there lies an underground burial site called the Tantara Deepcroft. The place was once a Gelmoran settlement. We Gridanians have long interred our dead there. Of late, however, shadowy figures have been seen skulking about the Deepcroft, with ever-increasing regularity. Based on the accounts of various witnesses, we suspect that these individuals belong to the Lambs of Dalamud, a doomsday cult which sprung up prior to the calamity. These zealots have proven themselves dangerous in the past. We leave them to their own devices at our peril. Ordinarily, I would have dispatched my best men to scour the Deepcroft with orders to flush the cultists out. Alas, the calamity decimated our ranks. The limited forces at my disposal are constantly required to keep the Ixal at bay. The birdmen have grown restless of late, and I fear a storm may be brewing. In anticipation of this, I've been compelled to spread our forces throughout the Twelveswood, lest we be taken unawares. Situation so being, we must turn to others to deal with the Lambs of Dalamud. We rely on you to undertake this task, friend. Have my gratitude. Once you've seen to your preparations, pray make your way to the Deepcroft and identify yourself to the guard posted at the entrance. We will appraise you of the latest developments. That is all. Be careful out there, you hear? May the crystal guide you and keep you. So we meet again? Cannot say I'm surprised to see you here. You took the prize back in Limsa, but this time we will give you better sport, for I am no true adventurer. Gods, I hate mausoleums. It's no right to disturb the dead in their slumber. Think of our goal, sister. One day our adventures will be the stuff of song, and it will all be worth it. You're Kiliana Ironhide, I take it? Thanks for helping us out, friend. No doubt the Bow Lord has already informed you, but your task is to enter the Deepcroft and purge it of the Lambs of Dalamud. In case you're unfamiliar with them, the cult emerged shortly before the calamity put an end to the 6th Astral Era. The cultists took the Lesser Moon, Dalamud, for their god, believing that it would deliver them from the devastation. And so they were rather disappointed when Dalamud exploded into 1,000 flaming pieces before it could complete its descent. Now, having seen their god turn to ash, one would think that the cultists might feel a move to question their faith. On the contrary, it served only to stoke the flames of their fanaticism. Lambs of Dalamud have conceived that heretics, that is to say, everyone but them, interfered with the coming of their Lord and Savior. That it's now their sacred duty to avenge him. Whatever it is they're doing in the Deepcroft, you may be sure it's no good will come of it. For the sake of Gridania, and the Orisi at large, put an end to their madness.
bad feeling about this. Who summons me from the void to reside within this crude vessel? You seem surprised. You do not cross our gates in search of blood. Come hither, children of the dawn. Undying master will drink deep tonight. Unforgivable.
Welcome back, Ileana. I'm reliably informed that your foray into the Deepcroft was a success. Nor did I expect anything less. Bateron's ringing endorsement left me in little doubt as to your capabilities. Even so, you are to be commended. Though Lord Lewin asked me to pass on his thanks. I must say, it's something of a relief to be able to call upon such a capable adventurer. Sadly, death has become an ever more common occurrence within our fraternity of late. Times being what they are, the guild is constantly inundated with petitions, and are hard-pressed to find enough hands to deal with them all. While this means no shortage of work for able souls such as yourself, it also provides ample opportunity for the inexperienced to overreach themselves with predictable consequences. If to illustrate the point...
Javier's gone, and it's all your fault. If it hadn't taken you an age to heal him, you'd still be alive.
But I tried. He bolted out of range before I could finish the spell. No, I shouldn't have been so hard-pressed in the first place. We should have done more to lighten his burden.
To the hell with this pathetic excuse for a party. I'm leaving. It'd be too soon if I never see your faces again. Goodbye and good riddance. I'm leaving as well. I doubt this comes as any surprise, but I never liked you. I only suffered you for your healing, but you couldn't even do that one thing right. Cruel though this may sound, you brought this upon yourself. Oh, and by way of some parting advice, get rid of Javier's head, bury it, cremate it, do whatever the hell you'd like with it, but for God's sake, stop carrying it around. It's just get rid of it, alright?
Wait, don't leave me alone. Please. Oh, I'm so sorry, Javier. Please forgive me.
Scenes like this have become all too common. Makes a dozen times in half as many days. Now you see why I'm grateful for adventurers of your experience. You can send women like you on a mission without worrying that you might not return. Well, not so much at any rate. Speaking of missions, I would entrust you with another. About a bell ago, I received a message from my counterpart in Ul'dah. He seeks the services of a reliable adventurer, and you are nothing if not reliable. If you think you might be interested in this task, say the word, and I will be glad to share the details with you. So you're not averse to taking a little trip? Wonderful! As I mentioned earlier, the request comes to us from the Adventurer Guild in Ul'dah. Once you arrive, seek out Momody, the proprietress of the Quicksand. Think of her as the Sultanate's version of myself. Chances are she'll send you into the midst of danger, but I have every confidence you'll pull through unscathed. Now, off you go, Kinliana. Good luck. Welcome to the Quicksand, friend. I'm a tad busy right now, if you wouldn't mind showing yourself to... Oh, it's you, Kinliana. And there I was, spouting the same tired line. Mion sent word that you'd be reporting for duty. She also made a point of calling you the adventurer of the moment. Ain't no small praise coming from her. But you didn't come all the way to listen to my pride. Doubtless you're eager to get started, so let's talk business, shall we? Petitioner ought to be arriving any moment now. Gods almighty, another second under that sun, and I would have just been set afire. A tankard of ale, if you'd be so kind. Excellent timing, Papa Shan. Just so happens the adventurer who'll be handling your petitions here. Oh, I visit my good friend the Kinliana. It does my spirit well to know that you're the one who'll be helping us. Am I happy you'd like to apprise Kinliana of her mission? Yes, of course. The petition in question was submitted by an acquaintance of mine at Amagina & Sons Mineral Concern. Relates to an unfortunate development at Copperbell Mines. To be plain, giants have seized control of the place. These giants are of the clan known as the Hecatoncheires, fearsome creatures who were sealed within the deepest depths of the mine during the bygone Thorn Dynasty. Alas, it seems they've managed to break through the layer of rock which served to imprison them, and now prowl the tunnels where the miners ply their trade. Creatures are justifiably angry about their treatment at the hands of our ancestors, and their presence has forced the suspension of all mining activities on the site. No wonder they're angry. Didn't the Thorn Dynasty come to an end over 300 years ago? You know your history well, milady. People of that age used the Hecatoncheires to work their mines. By way of enchanted helms, they were able to bind the ferocious creatures to their will. But as is oft the way in such tales, these enchantments eventually failed, and the slaves rose up against their masters. In a desperate bid to contain the unbridled fury of the Hecatoncheires,
Our ancestors induced the collapse of the mines, lower most levels. So it was that the Great Giant Revolt was ended, buried beneath 100,000 tons of rock. Well now, that's got me thinking. I seem to recall there being an article about Coppermill in the Mithril Eye a fortnight or so ago. It said the mines were being reopened so as to meet the rise in demand for building materials. Like as not, our boys dug a bit too deep and freed the giants. Gods, to think the poor creatures are still alive and kicking after 3 centuries. That's a long time to nurse a grudge. They must be seething. Indeed, makes them a danger to us all. There will be no mining at the Copperbell so long as they remain. For the sake of both peace and prosperity, they must be subdued. This is the task which we would have you undertake. I'll not deny that the mission will be rife with danger, but our need is great. So I beg you, put an end to this sorry business. Gods bless you. Feared you might have reservations, but I assure you it's for the best. In case you don't know, Copperbell Mines are in western Thanalan. Take care, you hear? And one last thing before you depart. An employee of Amagina & Sons is presently at the Quicksand. The fellow's name is Painted Mesa, and he knows Copperbell Mines well. It may behoove you to seek his counsel. Painted Mesa? You found him. You're the adventurer who's volunteered to deal with the mess down at Copperbell, are you? You got guts in this. Hope you got the skills to go with him, because things ain't pretty down there. That Gadunkier left the place in a right state, nearly a week after mining resumed. I don't know if you know this, but Copperbell was old when the Second Dual Dynasty was still young. It was abandoned centuries ago. Hadn't been for the shortage of materials needed for the rebuilding effort, the concern would never have thought to reopen it. Knew full well the giants beforehand, but the project went ahead anyway. I mean, nothing could possibly survive being buried under the mountains with rock for 3 centuries, right? Wrong. Miners dug up more than they bargained for. So swing of the pickaxe too many, and they found themselves in the company of giants. If we can subdue them, the nation's glorious recovery will grind to a halt for want of aught to build with. Stone torches are keeping watch over the entrance in case giants fancy some sunlight and fresh air. One of them will be able to show you the way in. Hope the nation's resting on you, friend. Best of luck. An incident inside Copperbell Mines. We're here to ensure that its effects are contained. For your own safety, I suggest you stay well away from here. What? You're the adventurer who's volunteered to quell the Hekatunkier? Didn't think Papashan would be able to find someone so quickly. Not at all. The giants are content to wreak havoc inside the mines for now, but it's only a matter of time before they think to come outside. The sooner you see them, the better. Make ready as best you can, and turn away. there any deposits left untapped? Looking training. Here's some foe to be sure. I don't think it's their leader. Looks like we'll need more fire sand. By the 12, what is that?
Slaves no more! Free! Free! Masters must pay! Masters must die! Never again! Never! Have care, everyone.
Alright guys, I figure I will break the wall of silence for if I ever have to go okay for just a second here. So I'll be right back. And I'll give a little blah before we start. And back to business as usual. But throughout that whole dungeon my cat was screaming from inside very loudly. I'll be right back. thing, since I also thought of it while I'm here. 8-man content. Realize that we'll probably have to do that undermanned. Actually, no, the first couple of trials aren't 8-man, they're 4, so those should have duty support, hopefully. We'll see how that goes. But I'm not going to make people sit there and wait for me to narrate ARR cutscenes when they love to put them really early and stuff. And you just have to sit there and wait for the last person. Alright, here we go again. So. The Conqueror of Copperbell returns. Thanks to you, our mining operations can resume, and Ul'dah will have the materials she needs to rebuild. The entire nation's in your debt, friend. I'll share the good tidings with Papa Shan the next time I see him. As for you, you'll want to report to Momodi. It'll do the woman good to see you alive in one piece. No! Shut your mouth, you thieving little swine. You stole from me. Don't even think to deny it. Please, sir. I didn't steal nothing. I bought this. Paid for it with my own coin. What rot? You refugees are all the same. Couldn't afford maggoty mole meat, much less a choice cut of dodo. I'm going to say it one more time. Give back what you stole, or I'll make you wish you'd never set foot in this town. By rights, I should turn you over to the Brass Blades, you know? Help keep the streets safe for law-abiding citizens. But I'm a reasonable man. You agree to serve me in whatever capacity I require. The authorities need to hear of your crime. But I ain't done nothing wrong. 12 is me witness. Please, adventurer, help me! I beg of ye! I swear on me mother's grave I didn't steal nothing. I bought this with the coin I'd save. I only wanted to treat me children to a decent meal. And who the hells are you when you're at home? This dog's master? I've had enough of this mummer's farce. You lot, teach them a lesson. I'll take care of this. The rest of you watch. Not bad. Now, buddy Goblin, and give me a hand, will you? Bugger, bugger! I ain't getting paid enough for this. Hey, where the hells do you think you're going? Thank you, kind adventurer. Thank you thrice over. I'd swear there were more refugees than when I last looked. You wouldn't be mistaken. 5 years since the calamity. What are they only coming here now?
It's simple, really. While a number of hamlets survived the immediate aftermath of the calamity, many were no longer able to support their communities. The residents found their lands had either been rendered barren or cut off from trade routes. Problems like those aren't easily solved. Though they tried to make the best of it, it was only a matter of time before they were forced to abandon their homes and begin new life in the city. Let's see. The calamities affected the whole realm, didn't it? Is the same thing happening in the other cities? The talk is true. Yes. Though, perhaps our situation is more pronounced. Ul'dah has a reputation for being prosperous, so it's natural the refugees would try their luck here first. My heart goes out to them, it truly does, but lying if I said that I wasn't apprehensive. Their presence doesn't foment lawlessness in the city. Well, if things do take a turn for the worse, we always have the immortal flames. I dare say the brass blades would welcome their help. Heroes who fought the Garlean Empire, patrolling the streets for riffraff? It may well come to that. Impoverished and desperate as they are, you may be sure that some of the refugees will turn to crime. You know what this place is like. No coin, no hope. What will become of our city? Not all refugees are bad, mind you. Some are able to find employment and lead honest lives. Dodo tenderloins! Get your dodo tenderloins! Guaranteed cheapest in Thanalan! Thank you for your custom, madam. Please come again. Looking around, you'd think that Ul'dah was well on its way to recovery. But you're through the veil of prosperity, and you'll see no end to the misery and suffering. Madam, are you all right? What now? You mean to threaten a defenseless citizen? What? Saw her buy that meat, you say? That's absurd. Aye, as did I. Leave the poor woman alone, you damnable vulture. Who said that? Ugh, I will overlook this, but just this once. God bless you, adventurer. If you hadn't come along when you did, who knows what that monster might have done. Don't bear thinking about. All's well that ends well. We meet again. Pray do not mistake my intent, for it is always honorable, but I have been watching you ever since you departed Ul'dah. You played the part of envoy to perfection, confident as a woman on a diplomatic mission should be, yet unfailingly courteous to your betters. And when your travels led you into the midst of danger, you faced it without so much as a flinch. You, my lady, are quite a marvel, and I confess to being quite taken with you. But my lavish praise continues. Most of all, I was struck by your readiness to aid those in need, even when words were all the reward you could expect to receive. Such selflessness is a rare thing in this day and age. All of which leads me to conclude that you are indeed the one of whom I've been looking for, an adventurer possessed of a very rare set of qualities. Be sure, your rescue of that damsel in distress was more of a happy accident, but rescue her you did. That is what matters in the end. I feel I should mention at this point that I also harbor a burning interest in a certain talent of yours. I speak of your visions. You have been having visions, have you not? Well, it just so happens that I know a woman who shares your talent and can help you to understand it. She and I belong to the same organization. We should both be delighted beyond words if you would agree to join our cause. Naturally, there are benefits to being part of such a collaborative. For one, we should be glad to assist you in realizing your potential as an adventurer. You need not give an answer now. Think upon it, and if you feel moved to help us, as I pray you shall, speak with Momody, the ever lovely and youthful mistress of Quicksand.
hear the Scions of the Seventh Dawn have found their woman. She will tell you where to find us. Scenes like that are becoming ever more common, I'm afraid. Don't worry, though. If you work hard, you'll probably be alright. Saying that, if you ever find yourself in a spot of bother, come see me. Just don't go pestering me every time you graze your knee, eh? Of course, I do enjoy hearing tales of a gentleman's woes with the woman folk from time to time. Ah, Kinliana. Sorry to keep you waiting. I was just providing guidance to a fresh-off-the-carriage adventurer. But gods, it's good to see you safe and well. Look at you now. None would know you ever guessed you'd been hard at it with giants in the dark. I never doubted for a moment you'd succeed, of course, and neither did Papa Shan, which ain't to say he won't be overjoyed. Oh, before I forget, there's a lass here who wants a word with you. Didn't actually know your name, but hearing her description, I knew who she meant right away. Thank you for sparing the time. I realize you don't know me, but I've been longing to speak with you for a while now. My name is Edda. I'm an adventurer like you, though I'm not very good at being one, if truth be told. Anyway, I was adventuring with my friends at Gridania I'm sorry, we were in Gridania when the leader of our party was killed. His name was Aver, and he and I were to be wed in the spring. You may not remember him, but to say that he remembered you would be an understatement. He would sing your praises from dawn until dusk. He saw you for what you are, you see, an adventurer's adventurer, and swore that he would be like you one day. I believe that he would have succeeded had the fiend not robbed him of the chance. Since that day, I've thought long and hard about giving up adventuring. But when I think of the woman you are, all that you've achieved, I find that I'm inspired, just as Aver once was. I've decided to start again as an adventurer. I'll go back to the village of my birth and begin my training anew. But I wanted to meet you first, ask you for your name. Ileana Ironhide. Shan't forget. Thank you, Ileana Ironhide. I pray that we will meet again. Fare you well. Adventuring can be a cruel, bleeding business. Time was, I didn't know why anyone would bother, but when they first asked me to take charge of the guild here, I didn't want aught to do with you lot. Thought it'd be a right pain in the arse looking after you all. Against my better judgment, I decided to accept the post. Well, glad I did. I feel privileged to be a part of your lives. And that goes double for yours, Kinliana. Eh? What'd you say? Want to know about the Scions of the Seventh Dawn? We're beginning to move in earnest, then. Listen, Kinliana, the Scions ain't no ordinary folk. Work they do ain't no ordinary work. I know full well how capable you are, but you would think twice about attempting some of the stuff they do. Knowing that, still certain you want to get involved, I'll tell you what I can. You want to know more then, do you? Well, ain't that a surprise. I swear, if I painted certain death on one door and limitless wealth on another, 9 out of 10 adventurers would go through the first, and the other bloke would be able to choose on account of being old on. Anyway, don't say I didn't warn you. First of all, if you're wondering whether you can trust these Scions of the Seventh Dawn, you can. They're good people who've made it their mission to solve some of Eorzea's most pressing problems. Of course, that ain't no small task. They're always looking for dependable individuals to join them. Individuals like you, Killian. Now, I've been given leave to tell you where to find the Scions, but you must promise to keep this information to yourself. As you can probably imagine, it's something Eorzea's enemies would very much like to know. The Scions are headquartered in Vesper Bay, out in western Thanalan. The place you're looking for is called the Wakened Sands. Give your name to whoever's at the entrance, and you'll be let in. You're a woman in demand, Kinliana, and the days ahead promise to be busy. But I hope you won't forget your old friend Momody. Drop in and tell me how you're faring from time to time, you hear? Right, well, I've said my piece. Off you go.
deep in the dearest desert of my heart, a lonely flower blooms, yearning for the heavens above to quench my thirst for you. Ah! I would thank you not to sneak up on me like that. Now, please be advised that this is private property. Unless you have pertinent business here, I must ask you to... You're at behest of Thancred. My sincerest apologies. May I please have your name? Kinliana Ironhide. Kinliana Ironhide. Ah, here you are. I bid you welcome to the Waking Sands, headquarters of the Scions of the Seventh Dawn. My name is Tataru, and I look forward to assisting you during your time with us. The antecedents within the Solar. I shall let her know to expect you. Your Kinliana Ironhide. Tataru sent word that you'd arrived. Lady Minfilia has eagerly awaited your coming. This way, please.
So you're the adventurer of whom I've heard so much. Well met, friend. My name is Minfilia, and I lead the Scions of the Seventh Dawn. I have awaited your coming. Please, be at ease. You are among friends here. No doubt you are ripe to burst with questions. But have patience. All will be revealed in time. First, let me begin by telling you who we are and what we do. We are the Scions of the Seventh Dawn, an order that transcends political boundaries. Our single objective is the preservation of the future of Eorzea. Among our gravest concerns are the godlike beings known as the Primals. Their existence is a bane upon Eorzea, nay, the world at large, and we have striven to find a lasting solution to the threat they pose. Our order is home to a number of individuals who, like you, possess a rare and special talent. This talent takes various forms, but one holds particular interest for us. Tell me, have you ever experienced a sudden, inexplicable loss of consciousness? Have you ever had the sensation of being pulled away from reality? Felt as though you were hovering in space? A mind without a body? All these things are the manifestations of your talent. Yours is the power to transcend the boundaries of the soul, a power known as the Echo. The Echo allows you to pass through the walls of a man's soul and hear the resonations of his past. You will be there in his memories and see things as he saw them. You may even interact with that which you see, though you cannot change the outcome of events. For another blessing, the Echo will enable you to know a man's mind even if you cannot comprehend his words. In short, the Echo is a truly extraordinary power, and this power is strong within you. It is only a shame that we cannot use it whensoever we choose. That's right. I, too, possess the Echo. With that established, let us return to the subject of the Primals. So long as they exist, the realm cannot take so much as a single step towards true peace. Measures must be taken. Measures which transcend boundaries, be they of faction, race, language, or creed. And to do so, the Scions require the aid of those with our talent. Make no mistake, The Echo will be instrumental in dealing with the primal threat. Without it, we cannot hope to save the realm. I know not what it is you desire for yourself, nor what it was that first brought you to Eorzea. But I firmly believe that the power we possess was given to us for a purpose. Why else would the gods entrust man with a gift so extraordinary, if not to have him use it? And so I implore you, lend us your power.
Naturally, your aid will not go unrewarded. We are fortunate to have a number of influential allies. At a word from me, they will gladly afford you certain privileges that might otherwise be denied you. The right to employ retainers, for example. Are you familiar with them? They are individuals who may be relied upon to manage your assets and belongings on your behalf. Papers you requested, my lady. Thank you, Tataru. Pleasure's mine, my lady. By way of a welcoming gift, I've taken the liberty of adding your name to the retainer's registry. As of now, you are entitled to employ this service of a retainer. You'll need to consult the retainer vocate regarding the particulars of this arrangement, but believe me when I say that retainers will prove invaluable to you in your adventuring endeavors. Let this gesture serve as evidence of our commitment to do all in our power to facilitate your personal objectives. In return, we ask you to aid us to the fullest extent of your talents. A mutually beneficial relationship, I am sure you'll agree, and one which serves the greater good besides. Well, that was a veritable lecture, was it not? Forgive me, but it is important that you are all concerned or aware of what is expected of them. Now you know our purpose and what we can offer you. I invite you to consider joining us. When you have come to a decision, you may tell me without fear of censure. In good faith, I shall entrust you with our order's password, which our members use to reach one another when afield. It is Wild Rose. Pray, keep it safe. While there are others who possess the Echo, none are near as strong as you with the power, hence our extremely high expectations of you. This place is called the Waking Sands, and it's our headquarters. It used to be somewhere else, you know, but then a bunch of things happened, and we ended up here instead. 7 waning moons see 7 suns rise. Divine order rolls, fallen corpses writhe. Thus, the Divine Chronicles seek to warn us once more. The meaning of these words now shines clear. They evoke the dire circumstance of this imperiled age. The realm doth shudder and twist, and the dawn lieth cowering neath the stifling blanket of night. We abide. We await the coming of the unborn era's seed, the light which shall pierce the glowering darkness. Our organization, the Scions of the Seventh Dawn, was formed through the union of 2 separate entities. The first was comprised of Charlian natives such as myself, and was called the Circle of Knowing. The second, made up of individuals that share your rare gift, was known as the Path of the 12. The terrible events that ushered in the Seventh Era taught us that only together may we strive against the evil that seeks to consume us. Summoning a primal is no small feat. It requires a tremendous concentration of ether, which is why the beast tribes go to such lengths to obtain crystals. Once they manifest in physical form, their unquenchable thirst for ether only grows stronger. They would drink the land dry with nary a thought to the consequences. Considering their fearsome strength, it could be well within their ability to do so. It is for this reason we must do our utmost to oppose them. We Scions have but one objective: safeguard the future of Eorzea. Among our gravest concerns are the godlike beings known as the Primals.
Long have we striven to find a lasting solution to the threat they pose. I know not what it is you desire from yourself, nor what it was that first brought you to Eorzea, but I firmly believe that the power we possess was given to us for a purpose. Pray consider this when you give me your answer, can you not? I will go whither the wild rose blooms.
I take it you will help us. Wonderful! I knew you wouldn't let us down. But come, I would introduce you to your friends in the Order. Tell me, does the name Sharlayan ring any bells? It used to be one of Eorzea's 6 city-states, and was situated in the northwest of Aldenard. The Sharlayans were the keepers of wisdom both old and new. Their mastery over magic and ether was unsurpassed, and even the Garleans knew to fear them. Among their number, there were a noble few who devoted their lives to safeguarding the future of Eorzea. When the realm began its descent into chaos, and their countrymen fled for the motherland, they alone chose to remain here. These noble men and women were called the Archons. Those same brave souls stand before you now. The masked woman is Ida, and beside her is Popolimo. The two are charged with surveying the Twelveswood.
Hello there!
Welcome!
Okay, my turn to introduce someone. That there is Thancred.
He is our man here in Ul'dah, Jewel of the Desert.
Welcome to the team. I never doubted that you'd come. If I may, the lovely maiden beside me is named Y'shtola. Limsa Lominsa has the pleasure of being under her care.
Greetings. Last but not least is Urianger, who presides over all affairs within these halls. Pray seek him out whenever you have questions.
Dawn may banish even the darkest night. The words of a dear friend. I am glad of our meeting.
At the Battle of Carteneau, our leader was taken from us. But we did not stray from our purpose. We sought out Minfilia and others with her talent, and together established the Scions of the 7th Dawn.
Along with the Archons, those blessed with the Echo play a pivotal role in our endeavor to forge a brighter tomorrow for the realm. Oh, I should also introduce you to Tataru, our clerk. She ensures that everything runs smoothly.
Pleased to make your acquaintance.
In time, I hope you will come to think of us as family. But without further ado, I would assign you your first task. Urianger, have the documents arrived from the students of Baldessian?
Aye, my lady. They arrived but recently.
We have received a request for aid from the Immortal Flames. Thancred, would you do the honors?
It would be my pleasure. Some days ago, a crystal caravan registered to Amagina and Sons mineral concern was waylaid and divested of its cargo. But there is more. Within a bell of the robbery, several people were reported missing from the shantytown outside the city.
At a glance, one would assume the involvement of bandits, kidnappers, and coincidence. Such crimes are hardly uncommon, and the Immortal Flames deal with their like almost every day. However, this time we have reason to believe that a primal is involved.
Aye. The evidence left behind implicates the Emolja, who are known worshippers of Ifrit. If we then consider the objects that were taken, there is no room left for doubt. The crimes were committed in the name of a primal.
That you may better understand the nature of our struggle with the primals, I would have you play the leading role in this investigation. You have my thanks. If there is aught you wish to know, I recommend you speak with Thancred. He is well versed in the affairs of Ulda.
Ever at your service, fair lady.
Ready to begin, are we? That's the spirit. So then, your mission is to investigate a crystal robbery and a spate of abductions. Crimes which we believe to be connected. Assuming we are correct, it is like that any discoveries we make in relation to one will further our understanding of the other. Now, since the attack on their caravan, our friends at Amagina and Sons Mineral Concern have doubled security over their shipments. In light of this, it's my judgment that the abductions should be our priority. According to our preliminary findings, the majority of the missing were last seen in the vicinity of Camp Drybone. It would seem a fine place to begin. A fellow by the name of Isambard serves as the camp's de facto leader. Pay him a visit and see that he gives us his full cooperation. Boy, I'm Isambard. You to search for the missing folk, I take it? Philia sent word that an adventurer fitting your description would be along. He also warned us to be wary of the Emolja. Seems we know who the culprits are, at the very least. Now, there are no official title at this camp, but the people here have come to look to me for leadership. You have my word that I'll do all I can to help see the victims safely returned. Get right to it then. Infilia names the Emolja culprits in this. We do well to investigate them first. Much harm has been levied on these lands by the Emolja's hands. Flames burn when they might, but their light cannot stay in the darkness in all places at all times. There have been brutal murders of callers at the Church of Saint Adama and Landama. Innocents wishing no more than to pay their respects to the dead. Poor souls deserve a proper burial. Let's see the deed before the mongrels catch their scent. But I know not if the Emolja still linger. Would you secure their remains for me, friend? We will find them on the eastern road. Well willing, you may even come to learn something about the Emolja seek in its area.
see you returned. Were you able to secure the remains of our fallen? Bodies given back proper to the earth, the souls will find their way across to the other side. A noble deed this day. Thank you. Now then, for the Amolja. Did you see any? Really such massive monstrosities as they cannot conceal their presence, much less sneak their quarry unawares. Ah, there were Amolja remaining after all. It as much. Part in the Lowborn disappearing is all but confirmed, but I sense there's more to this than meets the eye. The occasional Amolja raiding party would not account for people going missing in these kinds of numbers. The total is too great. Questions too many. It surprised me in the least to learn of another hand in this. But whose? Countless travelers pass through Drybone every day. And even if it was among one of them, it would be best to discover who may be implicit in these vanishings. So we turn an eye to the common folk themselves. Maybe among them that we find the reasons for these vanishings, 12 forbid it be so. A merchant by the name of Ungust, born here in Drybone, grew up in the Golden Bazaar. A rough character, but he knows the people here better than anyone else. I'd wager he's at the inn, quaffing away the day's earnings. Here, I'll write you a note to show him, else he's not like to speak to you. Well, gods be damned. You're that bloody adventurer who threatened me back in Ul'dah. What in seven hells do you want with me now? Dear friend. Missing people, please help. Yours, Isambard. Folk around here as wary as they come. They'll turn tail and run if you so much as pass wind nearby. Played them all for fools and coaxed some hard labor out of them, I did. If anything, they're even more timid than before, what with all the disappearances. Go talk to him yourself if you don't believe me. These guys just leave me be. Got nothing to say. I'll take who or whatever's been feeding off us low folk. What do you want from me? I don't know anything. I swear. Please don't kill me. Just as I told you, wasn't it? A whole lot of them are terrified. There's been talk of folk getting abducted, but if you ask me, they simply up and moved on to a better place. This place isn't exactly coasted El Sol, if you know what I'm saying. Back, Ileana. You learned aught of import? I see. I suppose I should have expected as much from Ungust. Well, another thought occurred to me in your absence. Common folk are nothing if not fervent in their religious beliefs. Perhaps if they speak freely to their gods, then the clergy may know something of use. We would know what the common folk speak of to their gods. We've no better place to ask than at the Church of Saint Adama Landama, a small and humble church found to the northwest of here. As long as you are headed there, might I ask you to deliver this embalmed corpse? A request, I grant you, but it must be borne to burial. Trust none more than you to see it done. Got a man named Marcus. He tends to the graves in the lich yard. He'll tell you where the body is to be interred. I'm Marcus, yes. Body? Of course. There have been so many bodies. I apologize, miss. If you seek a place of burial, then there's an empty grave atop the ridge. Take the path and lay him to rest there. May they all walk in Thal's realm. What? Missing people? I'm afraid I cannot help. But maybe Sister Orson can. Been kind to me. Been so kind. Why, though, pardon me. Find Sister Orson within the church's wall. I hear you've done us a service of burying a fallen soul. Please accept our gratitude. Extend it to Isambard when next you see him. Seek knowledge of missing Drybone inhabitants? It's true I am closer to the people than any other of the Order. I confide in them and they in me, but when they wish to speak to their keeper, Thal, I am the medium through which they do. If I learn anything pertinent, I will be sure to share the information with you. I wish Marcus would be more helpful in the matter. I pray he did nothing to offend. He saw terrible things during the calamity. His scars run deep. Indeed, he seems to now prefer the company of the dead over the living. While tragic, I fear such behavior ill befits the church. I received word not long ago that one of our recent visitors, a man called Thancred, I believe, took offense at his conduct. Must have words with Marcus, and soon. Thank you, Kinliana. A burial is no easy thing. When the departed is a stranger, are you able to learn aught of the missing common folk? You've been keeping yourself rather busy of late, haven't you, Kinliana? A pleasure, my dear Isambard. My name is Thancred, and I share a passion with you and our mutual friend here for learning what has become of these missing persons and why. I, too, spoke with Ungust, more times than I care to count. There seems to be some truth to this notion of common folk speaking their secrets only to those in service to the gods. Protestation, prayer, penance, abject deeds done behind closed doors, away from prying eyes. Who better to take the pious unawares than she who takes confession, good Sister Orson herself? Orson, she wouldn't. She couldn't. And the most beautiful roses have thorns, my friend. It would be wise to keep your eye on this rose. Still, village keeper Marcus. I swear the 12 I've seen that face somewhere before. Sister Orson? It cannot be. Though she is wont to travel to the Golden Bazaar on her own, and not uncommon to see her speaking to the children, but no. It could not be she. You're weary of these suspicions. I know there's one child in particular that she's fond of. Pray seek out the boy, Kinliana. See if you cannot glean something from him about Orson's activities. Please help. Sister Orson went all the way out on her own and hasn't come back. She always reads to me right here about Thal and the Order and others on the other side. I told her I lost my shiny thing and she went looking for it, but what if the monsters outside heard her? Please find her. You're the one from the church. Goodness, you arrived when you did. My gratitude is yours yet again. Look with the child. Yes, well, I was able to find his lost trinket. It is a ring given to him by his mother before she passed. We'll see it safely back to him. Orson was attacked outside the Gold Bazaar? Odds for Fend. I will secure a room at the inn for her should she require any rest. Searching for these mementos of orphans. Risking her own well-being in the doing, no less. Certainly not the dastardly deeds Thancred would have us believe. I'm well glad I reserved that inn room for Sister Orson. Seems she received greater injuries from her attackers than she initially let on. Thankfully, she is expected to make a full recovery. But now, the matter at hand, Thancred came looking for you once more. He left word that he'll be waiting at the Amalja encampment to the southeast. I pray the two of you are able to uncover some evidence regarding these disappearances. Ah, there you are, Kiliana. So good of you to come. Indeed, I've heard all about good Sister Orson. Simbard said her wounds were serious. It seemed my suspicions about the poor Rose were misplaced. But, false though they were, perhaps my suspicions were not entirely without merit. Whilst following Sister Orson near the Gold Bazaar, a band of Amalja caught my eye. I tracked them as far as this encampment, but, well, I must say that I would much prefer to keep my distance and remain here. This, of course, brings me to why I requested you. Would you be so kind as to take a look inside? Well, did anything tickle your fancy? It's leaflet. The wealth of Nald to the hands of your children. Looks to be some sort of assembly to provide the poor with work. Lettering, though. Atrocious, is it not? These spits about Nalthal seem somewhat less than studied. I find it hard to believe one among the Order penned this. Pray, take it to the inn at Camp Drybone. Let's see what Sister Orson makes of it. see what Sister Orson makes of this leaflet. Savior comes again. What do I owe the honor this day? Just this. Blasphemous. They're not our teachings at all. It was not made by any true brother or sister of the order. That, I can assure you. Come to think of it, weeks ago, the church was plagued by missing garments. Should we be posing as a priest of the order to deceive the people? Plot thickens, Kiliana. Our culprit pretends to be a priest to lend credence to his deception. There's no doubt an irony in there somewhere. But I suspect we have a worthy adversary on our hands. We'll consider how best to handle this. For now, tell Isambard what we've learned here. Posing as a priest, I think. Those troubling notions aside, it's gratifying to finally be able to move this investigation forward. Thank you once again, Kiliana. I shall keep my ears and eyes open now. Afraid I've not seen any unusual activity, nor have any at this camp, giving me cause to doubt them. Unless we can identify the culprits, and soon, more innocents will fall victim. Not despair just yet, my friend. An idea occurs to me. Our suspect has been posing as a priest, using leaflets bearing false promises to lure the poor. Let Kiliana and me serve like with like by posing as impoverished souls in need of succor. I dare to hope this will yield us the answers we seek. Be a dangerous undertaking, but you two are more than capable of looking after yourselves. I'm next to useless in a battle, but I can supply the garments for the disguise. These old tunics and slops should serve your needs, so long as you don't mind the smell. Stains. Serve quite well. You have my thanks. Listen, Kiliana. So as to lay the foundation for our little ploy, we must make it widely known when more vagrants have arrived at camp and are desperate for coin. To this end, I want you to don the old garments Isambard has lent us, and beg for work around the camp. Before long, the false priest should catch wind and approach us. Greetings, good madam. Is there aught I might assist you with? Oh, I don't believe there is. I'm afraid our wares are very expensive. I'm happy you should rejoin your fellows out at the pond north of the Sandgate. I preach the teaching of Azima, the warden. Hast thou come to partake of the honey of her wisdom? Azima is the keeper of the sun and goddess of inquiry. All is laid bare beneath her the light of her divine countenance. Open thy heart to this light, needy child, and thou shalt want for naught till the end of days. You are another refugee by the looks of you. Immortal flames have neither work nor coin for your like. Be gone, so you don't make a nuisance of yourself. Just about to get to the good part. Good for work, you say? Sorry, but we don't have any openings now. Get out of here so I can finish my story. What is it? God, it's not again. Look, being poor doesn't give you the right to pester whomsoever you like. I'm don't you keep with your own kind by that muddy pond of yours at Drybone? Quite the knack for being a nuisance, Kiliana. The camp is abuzz with talk of newly arrived vagrants. And though we were unable to attract our wayward transgressor, we were able to learn that the poor have a commune by the pond north of Sandgate, to the east of here. The eyes of the authorities do not reach that place, rather ideal for spiriting away hapless souls. Let us go and wait for the kindly priest to come and offer us aid and comfort. Needless to say, you'll need to remain in your studies. Fine evening for catching false priests, wouldn't you say? You look absolutely smashing, Kiliana. Positively dressed for deception. All that's left then is to wait for our quarry to appear. Oh, you poor unfortunate souls. This is no way for men to live, no way at all. Who are you? What do you want? Be at ease, child, for I mean you no harm. I am a priest of the Order of Naldthal, and I come to offer you succor. This leaflet bears the teachings of Nald. Trust to them, and they will surely set you free from the shackles of penury. A tempting offer, but I'm afraid I must decline. On account of that atrocious performance, you would have made a god's awful mummer among guests. How did you know? You bastards tricked me. Please don't hurt me. I was doing it to protect my people. That's so? You continue. Well, man of the Golden Bazaar. Raised there, if not born. Well, moons ago, the Amalja raids began. It appeared sudden as a sandstorm and plunder and pillage at will. The defenders couldn't stand against them, few as they were. Everyone lived in fear. I wanted to save my people, but being a merchant was all I knew, and so I did the only thing a merchant could. I approached the Amalja in hopes of brokering a deal. In return for sparing the Golden Bazaar, they made demands. Courageous ones. Demands? What kind, pray tell? First of all, they wanted the schedule for crystal shipments from the Nanawa mines. For this, I bribed one of the workers to leak me the information. Next, they wanted me to bring them people. I posed as a priest to learn the vulnerable and give them over to the Amalja. I have a choice. Protecting one's home is a noble thing, but at the cost of innocence, you could have sought the aid of the immortal flames, yet you did not. I suspect you are not telling me the full story. What made you sell out your own people? Speak! It was good. What did you say? The coin was good, I said. I could sell mole meat for a score of lifetimes and not see even a fraction of what the Amalja pay me. You sacrificed innocence so that you could line your own pockets. Words failed to express the contempt I feel for you. Spare me your contempt. You want to blame someone for the mess the world's in, then blame yourselves, or the gods. Ugh, not you again. Are you the one leaking the Immortal Flames patrol routes to the enemy as well? Spit it out. No, I know nothing about that, I swear it. At this stage, I'm rather disinclined to believe aught that leaves your mouth. But no matter, there'll be time enough to learn the truth. Oh. Liana, be a dear and take words of these developments to Infilia, would you? I shall prize everything I can out of this filth. The abductees are still somewhere out there. Our foremost priority is to rescue them. Welcome back, Kiliana. I'm pleased that you and Thancred have been getting along. See, done well to uncover the truth. My thanks for the report. As Thancred said, we must ascertain where the abducted were taken. None but the Amalja know the answer. Suffice it to say, they will not willingly part with this information. I fear blood will be spilled before all is said and done. Though we seek a peaceful solution to the primal problem, we must needs be ready to fight for our cause. That you might take to the field suitably prepared, I would have you meet with a goblin acquaintance of mine. His name is Mutamix Bubblypots. He's a scholar of no small repute. Mutamix is renowned for having introduced a revolutionary method of enhancing equipment in Eorzea. Knowledge of this method was once a closely guarded secret, but thanks to Mutamix and his students, it's now been disseminated to the great benefit of all of the realm. It would serve you well to acquire an understanding of this process. For this purpose, I shall lend you a blade. Take it to Mutamix, and bid him use it to demonstrate his craft to you. Mutamix is ever to be found at his camp in central Thanalan, a place known as the Bonfire. Look for a pillar of smoke, and the way will become clear. Ugh. Who is Uplander coming to tentering of Mutamix Bubblypots? Mighty Tool drinks in airy self. Full of airy self, Mighty Tool changes to Shiny Stone, name of Materia. Materia joined with other Mighty Tool. And Big Eyes! Mighty Tool gains the power of airy self. Mutamix is reckoning that Uplander is friend with Infilia. Yes, tongue flaps reach ears of Mutamix with fastness. Infilia wants Uplander to see power of materia. Uplander brings fighting tool to Mutamix, yes. Fighting tool is as strong as eating tool. Make good teachy show with power of materia. Materia, Master. Now, Eyes of Uplander point to Fighty Tool, yes? Ha! Materia join with Fighty Tool. Fighty Tool needs power of Materia. Fighty Tool Reborn. Here, Uplander take Fighty Tool to Infilia. Materia, strictly speaking, is a kind of crystal. It's created by drawing out the etheric constituents for a piece of equipment and then crystallizing it. Not just any old equipment will serve, mind you. Must have sufficient spirit bond. That being the measure of how fully an item has been imbued with the owner's spirit. When you attach a piece of materia to the gear, you imbue the host item with its power. That's how Master Mutamix turned the dagger of yours from summit as it has struggled to cut steak into a weapon worth wielding. Uplander wishes to be joiner of materia. Then Uplander best feel brain case with knowings of crafty making. Knowings of crafty making, Uplander can become joiner of materia. Uplander wants brain case to rattle with knowings of materia. Uplander must trade tongue flaps with learning ones of Mutamix. back, Kinliana. I trust your visit to the bonfire proved fruitful. Ah, what a remarkable difference a single piece of materia can make. Granted, the skills needed to manipulate the substance are not easily acquired, but one need only look upon the results to realize such efforts are worthwhile. As I'm sure you are aware, the quality of one's equipment can be the difference between victory and defeat. Materia may well give you the edge you need, Kinliana, so make it your ally. Now, it's time we discuss the matter of your next mission. Pray speak with me when you're ready to begin. Word has arrived from Thancred concerning our ongoing investigation. It appears he was able to extract some information from our friend Ungist, the false priest. He revealed to me he is due to meet with the Amalja to discuss their dealings. The Immortal Flames believe that the meeting will present an ideal opportunity to ambush and capture the Amalja responsible for this abduction, and so they mean to have Ungist attend as planned. As the Amalja are anticipated to offer fierce resistance, the Immortal Flames have requested our support. I would have you provide it to them, Kinliana. Thancred is presently attending to another matter. He will join you as soon as he's able. Until such time as he does, you will be the Scion's sole representative on the ground. Before he left, he bade me to tell you to save some for him. Such is his confidence in you. Confidence that I share. When you have made ready, pray take yourself to Camp Drybone and report to the Flame Sergeant leading the mission. May you walk in the light of the crystal.
Ah, you're Kinliana Ironhide of the Scions. My thanks for coming, friend. We're stronger for your assistance. Allow me to brief you on our mission. Our objective is to capture Amalja and pry from them the whereabouts of the abductees. Lizard men aren't aware that their man Ungist has been exposed. They come to the rendezvous point to meet the traitor in a trap. Owing to the clandestine nature of the mission, we deploy only a small contingent. Every member was count, so we requested the aid of the Scions. The rendezvous will take place at the Invisible City. Please make your way there and lie in wait. We stand to learn much and more from the Amalja plot if the mission succeeds, Kinliana. I'm sure it does. Place. Man's in position, sir. Good. We make our move as soon as the Amalja appear. Yes, sir. What is the meaning of this? Wait, nothing's amiss. I'm afraid your little ambush ends here. I eluded the Immortal Flame's clutches for moons before finally being caught. Did you not wonder how I managed it? It was almost as if someone was feeding him information from the inside.
Aye, your every movement was known to me ahead of time. Now, as much as I'd love to chat a while, I have appointments to keep. Yours? Traitor, can I get my hands on you? Wait, be sharp, man. Oh, damn it. Is there no end to them? Put up your weapon. Your comrade's a dead man. Behind you! Bring her. The rest of you march. Traitor scum. Going to kill us, aren't they? Oh, gods, I don't want to die. I want to go home. Lizardmen marched us to their stronghold, preparing for something, and I, for one, do not want to be around when they finish. The Emolja mean to give us to their god as an offering. Let's die. Let me die a soldier's death with steel in hand. Rejoice, heathens, for your worthless lives shall soon have meaning. Hearken to our plea. Lord of the Inferno, deliver us from our misery. Almighty Ifrit, Lord of the Inferno, your humble servant beseech you, grace us with your divine presence. mighty Ifrit, we bring before you ignorant savages who know not your godhead. Please, you Lord, scorch their heathen souls with your cleansing flame. Mark them as your own. Else, bring those to you as well. What's going on? This ain't what we agreed. None but servants of Lord Ifrit may behold the rite of summoning. The souls of unbelievers are forfeit. No, spare me, I beg ya. Pitiful children of man, by my breath, I claim you. Arise once more as my loyal minions. Feed my flames with your faith, and all who stand against us shall burn. Mighty Ifrit, one true God. Your words are my bread. Impossible! By what sorcery do you resist my master's will? Would it be? Your soul already belongs to another? Yes, that is the only explanation. Forsooth, thy frail mortal frame can serve as vessel to the blessing of but one. I smell not the taint of another upon thee. Truth of thine allegiance waxeth clear. Thou art of the godless blessed's number. The Paragons warned about that abhorrent kind. Thine existence is not to be suffered. Come, Inferno. Surrender thyself to the fires of judgment! Soul shall burn for eternity!
light defies me? Pray, forgive my lateness. Delayed by a congregation of Amalda zealots. I swear, you seemed even more evangelical than the last. Persistent lot. Bloodsworn wasted no time extracting the captives. No less than I'd expect from the Flame General's handpicked men. As for those two, it's fair to say their hardships have only just begun. They have much to answer for. I feel I owe you an apology, Kinliana. Had I known this mission would prove so dangerous, I would have never left you to face it alone. I've been given a veritable baptism of fire. Let us continue this conversation in more agreeable surrounds. Camp Drybone, shall we say? This way, sir. So that was the mighty Ifrit. What a disappointment he was. The readings are nowhere near what I'd anticipated, even taking Uldan interference into account. You should know better than to rely upon 5-year-old data left by the 7th Legion. Nor can we expect any form of support from the motherland, given the troubles at court. We have only ourselves to rely upon. Ever the pessimist, my dear Olivia. Promise me you will never change. I've wasted enough time here. That meter of yours is too old to give any reading worth a damn. Not that there was aught worth a damn for it to read, but I take your point. I suppose we must content ourselves with the knowledge that we've achieved our primary objective. Yet I find that I'm troubled by that adventurer's unexpected show of strength. Could such a foe prove a hindrance to our plans? Perhaps, but that is a consideration for another time. You have been given a task. That is your priority. I suggest you treat it as such. Fail to do as my lord commands. Spare him the trouble of punishing you. Allies like that. Beware a woman in love. She'll need to be on my best behavior. Ah, there you are, Kinliana. Come, rest a while. I have no better opportunity.
After witnessing their god's ignominious defeat, the Amalja will be less inclined to risk our wrath. For a time, at least. Now, where were we? Ah, yes. I was in the process of apologizing. I do hope you can forgive me. I arrived too late to be of any use. You or the abductees. They may be whole of body, but the same cannot be said of their minds. Once a man is tempered... it ill suits me to dwell on the negatives. Amidst all our misfortunes, there is still reason to rejoice. If it is slain, and by your hand no less. That is the deed of no ordinary individual, Kinliana. Not that I am thought to be ordinary. On the contrary, I have long suspected you may have the potential to shape the fate of this realm. What can I say? An fine eye for talent remains undimmed. Infilia will be proud beyond all reckoning when she hears of your deeds. I trust you shan't object to my bearing the tidings to her. That way I can claim to have contributed something to this mission. You, meanwhile, have earned yourself a rest. Some time to relax and return to the Waking Sands when you're good and ready. We'll discuss matters in more detail then. Just don't take too long, will you? The realm's problems won't solve themselves. Ah, the triumphant hero returns. Tancred told us the news upon his arrival. He is presently in the Solar, giving a full report to Lady Minfilia. You should join them at once. Lady Minfilia is most eager to see you. That arrival nearly cost Kinliana her life. Wasn't there when the Amalja took her prisoner. There when they served her to a fate. Yes, by some miracle she survived, but that does not excuse the fact that she should never have had to face such dangers alone. I failed her utterly. Just as I'm failing you all. What's done is done, Tancred. You can ill blame yourself for every... Kinliana, it is so good to see you again. Impeccable timing, my friend. I just finished regaling Minfilia with your heroic exploits. Tancred has told me everything. You've done well to return to us. The perils you faced were undeniably great, yet a part of me believes that I had no cause to fear. Now we can put to paid to our long investigation. As we suspected, the Amalja undertook both the robbery and the abductions with the aim of summoning their primal Ifrit. Nor is this tale limited to Ul'dah. Similar incidents have been rife in both Limsa Lominsa and Gridania of late. I dare say you've been curious as to how these crimes are linked to the primals. Permit me to explain. Having manifested in the physical realm, primals must consume ether if they are to maintain their presence here. The stronger they become, the more ether they require. Now, ether exists throughout creation, flows through all life, and permeates the very air that we breathe. Alas, this alone will not suffice to sustain the likes of Ifrit. Nay, he and his kind require a more concentrated source of ether, crystals. It's for this reason that incidents involving crystals can often be traced back to a primal. Which leaves us with the why of the abductions. To understand this, we must first understand how primals are born. When all is well in the world, primals possess no physical form. Their essence is dispersed across the great river of ether. However, when the world is plunged into chaos, those who worship the primals cry out for their gods for deliverance from suffering. These cries serve as a beacon toward which a primal's essence may irresistibly be drawn. It's this coming together, or etheric coalescence, which grants the beings physical form. Once born, a primal gains strength from its followers' worship. The more numerous and fervent they are, the more powerful their god becomes.
Primals are seldom satisfied with such reverence as their adherents freely give. In order to gain more power, they do not scruple to create followers, do this by tempering mortals, a process to which you yourself were subjected. Yet, even as a Frit took your comrades in his thrall, you alone remained unaffected. This is then Oh, no. Yet even as a Frit took your comrades in his thrall, you alone remain unaffected. This is in thanks to the power you possess, the Echo. We know not why it is, but those blessed with the Echo are immune to primal influence. As though a greater power protects us. When first you came to us, I told you that the Echo would be instrumental in dealing with the primal threat. I trust you now begin to see why. The recent incidents all share a common trait. Meticulous planning. Such elaborate designs are a new development, one which fills me with an unshakable sense of foreboding. While I share your concern, my presiding feeling is one of relief at your safe return. The immortal flames assured me that they will deal with the aftermath. You need not concern yourself with that. You may rest easy time. I suggest you take full advantage of the respite, Kinliana. You may be sure it won't last long. Once the people learn the identity of the hero who fell Ifrit, I fear you will have nary a moment to yourself. Whether she intended to or no, Ilya neglected to tell you something. Something I think would be best you heard from one of us. It concerned the tempted abductees that were rescued. Sorry to report that they are all to be put to death. The flames with whom you were imprisoned included. Needless to say, this information must not be made known to the public. I swear to you that we would not do this if there were any other recourse. Once a man is tempered, he is tempered for life. Very existence lends strength to the primal whom he cannot choose but worship. So we Scions continue our fight. No more innocents need be sacrificed. Hope you continue to stand with us, Leon. But I should be going. Must offer my apologies to the Flame General for the losses his people suffered. Till next time. Would never have allowed this to happen. Better. Have to be stronger. Alright guys, I'm gonna call it there because I can feel my voice going. Also, it's almost midnight. I have work in the morning. Lamau. Love work in the morning. Thank you for lurking with me. Thank you for hanging out with me. We are getting into it. Luckily, I did see the 4-man. Yeah, I forgot the first couple primals are 4-man, so they did put duty support in for those. So that's pretty cool. I don't think they put in duty support for anything 8-man. We'll see. We'll see if I decide, because I mean, queuing for that stuff is going to take forever. And I think I'd rather just low-man it, get to that part, and then eventually we will have to stop low-manning it, because eventually that stuff's going to be too strong. But for a while, we should be able to low-man once we hit the content. I think ARR is pretty much all 4-man, though, so until post-shenanigans. That's the end of part 1 of part 2 of Realm Reborn. And I'm going to call it a night. Tomorrow is Thursday. Who knows if I'll be live, but if you don't see me then, you won't see me for a while. Maybe, because there should be something happening Friday morning. But Friday starts the Final Fantasy Speedrun Relay. And that's where I'm going to be living for 4 days. I'll be commentating Type 0 on day 1. This coming Friday. Time of day. That I totally remember. 3:15 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That'll be fun and exciting. Not on the graveyard shift. We got some good runners. Should be fun comms. So once the relay starts, which it starts 2 games before that, at, I want to say, check the time there, starting at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time this coming Friday. I'm going to be dead to the world for about 4 days, staying up and cheering them on RPG Limit Breaks channel. And we'll also be chat moderating over there. So hopefully you will hang out with them if you don't see me tomorrow, or potentially Friday morning for a silly early morning Type 0 race before the relay starts. Is something that might happen. Not sure yet. So I will catch you guys, if not tomorrow, then sometime soon. Thank you very much for hanging out with me, and I will see you later.